Hey, this is Pastor Purple doing my TFT, my thought for today. I'm going to start doing these once a week now. This seems a manageable pace to do them at while I work on another project which is a bit longer and working on the blog posts a bit more. So I'm working on manageable projects while doing full-time ministry. And all the other things that we do as wives, mothers, friends, daughters, sisters. It's a lot. So today's thought for today is taken from, as you know, one of my favorite topics, the weather and what we're experiencing in our culture around us. Yesterday I had the pleasure of going to the union offices here in the Netherlands. It's a beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to visit us here in the Netherlands, I recommend them highly. It's a beautiful set of grounds, and the sun was shining beautifully. It was so glorious. You could see it all over the trees. It bounced off. The colors were alive. And then when you stepped out of your car, the freezing cold hit you. And so I was happy to go into the building and look at the sunshine from the safety of the building. Then something strange happened. Of course, we had to leave to go home. So as we left, it was still glorious sunshine. And as I went out with one of my colleagues to take a quick snap and have a quick chat, we were like, is this rain? The sun is shining, right? And we were both looking at each other and we're looking. So we're trying to take this picture real quick, and you can probably see from our expressions over on my Instagram page that we were a little bit confused because it was then raining. So I had gone from beautiful sunshine, freezing cold, to beautiful sunshine, pouring rain. And it was an interesting experience, to say the least. And you know that these extreme kind of weird weathers are something that really reminds me of scripture. And the scripture it brought to my mind was all things work for good for those that love the Lord. And it's a New Testament scripture. And if you haven't read the Bible, I won't go into too many details, but I will say this. It is often used to say that everything will come good. You know, people use it as a little encourager if you're going through a difficult time. You know, don't worry, God will work it out. Because, you know, he says in the Bible, he will you turn all things for the good of those that love the Lord. Come on, you love him, we can do this. And I've been reflecting on it. And I was looking at that weather, as extreme as it was, thinking, there is a bonus to the rain coming in the evening. The temperature went up and it was a little bit warmer, so the rain brought warmth. And okay, that's the good of me because I don't like the cold, but I don't like the rain more than I don't like the cold, so this wasn't working. And then it really made me ponder the context that the text is said within. Is what the writer really trying to say is that, if you've lost your job and times are tough, that things will, listen, God will work it out, girl. Don't worry about that. He'll work it out. Is that what he's trying to say? Is he really actually trying to say that? Is that what God is trying to say? Well, if I look at the narratives in the Bible, if I look at those stories, that doesn't seem to be the pattern of the Bible. That is not the story of the disciples. That is not the story of the New Testament, that suddenly they were millionaires and, they had new jobs and everything was working out. In fact, their life was really quite difficult and they faced a lot of persecution. So things didn't work out. But what did they have? They had peace. They had love. They had the Spirit. And I think, isn't it more accurate to the narrative of scripture that God isn't saying that you're going to get a new job immediately and everything will work out, so don't worry about it. He's going to turn it around. And we have great songs about that. Isn't it more accurately saying that he will send his Spirit to dwell with you, to give you peace, to give you love, to comfort you in times when it is difficult, so that you can learn lessons you may not have otherwise learnt, but also that you can focus on something other than despair. So I just wonder, with my strange weather incident that drove me to scripture, do we look at the context enough? You see, the context yesterday of the weather was that when it had started raining and we were standing in this beautiful, glorious sunshine and those raindrops were falling, the context was that if you looked a little past, there were some really dark clouds there and there was going to be some massive rain. And so as I drove down the motorway, the heavy, heavy rains come. The rain doesn't come with nothing in the sky, it comes when there are clouds. So there may seem like there's sunshine, context, but actually there are dark clouds. And I think with scripture it's the same. Look at the context of the text. Look at the narrative of the Bible. Does it support your understanding of that scripture? Does it support what that scripture is saying? And maybe, just maybe, God is trying to encourage you, but in a different way than you thought. Well, that's my thought for today. Have a beautiful, blessed, wonderful day. We hope that, or I hope, because there's no we here, just me. I hope that you really think about the context in which our scriptures are said so that you can understand them. Don't just read one verse as we do in the Instagram age, and in the Twitter age we have 144 characters, so we can only fit one text in, and our theology is boiled down to one text. Well, that one text is written in a chapter, which is written in a book, which is written in a Bible, and it has context. Have a lovely day. Bye.